I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Monday, June the 20th, 2016. Israel's Channel 2 reports that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu will meet early next week with U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry. The two will reportedly meet to discuss ways to revive Israeli-Palestinian peace efforts. The meetup, the report says, will take place in a European capital. The Prime Minister's office did not confirm the meeting, saying it would, quote, make an announcement when there is something to announce. Meanwhile, Israeli President Rivlin flew this morning to Brussels, Belgium. This is Rivlin's first state visit there and to the European Union. He is set to deliver a speech before the European Parliament this week. Rivlin will also meet with President of the European Council, Donald Tusk, and High Representative of the EU for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy, Federica Mogherini, as well as with Secretary General of NATO, Jens Stoltenberg, among others. Today, the EU foreign ministers held a summit to vote on the French peace initiative, which hopes to restart peace talks with an international conference set to take place later this year. Israel opposes the initiative as it bypasses direct talks between Israel and the Palestinians. And Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas will also address the European Parliament the day after Rivlin speaks there. And as we reported to you last week, Israel's new Defense Minister Avigdor Lieberman is in the United States this week. Lieberman today met with his American counterpart, U.S. Secretary of Defense Ash Carter, in Washington. And delegates from the United States and Israel issued a joint statement last week on the ongoing strategic dialogue between the two countries. Israeli and U.S. delegations headed by Acting National Security Advisor Jacob Nagel, Israeli Ministry of Foreign Affairs Director General Dr. Dori Gold, and U.S. Deputy Secretary of State Anthony Blinken met in Jerusalem on Thursday for the latest round of the annual U.S.-Israel Strategic Dialogue, addressing an array of security matters and agreeing that threats from terrorist organizations are among the greatest challenges currently being faced in the Middle East. Both countries agreed that the ongoing dialogue underscores the strength of the strategic partnership between the U.S. and Israel, which they said is, quote, based upon shared values and common interests, and a commitment to ensuring Israel's security. Leaders of the Conference of Presidents of Major American Jewish Organizations welcomed the joint statement, saying it was a, quote, clear reflection of the strong strategic relationship and U.S. commitment to Israel's security. Rhode Island has become the latest state to pass legislation against the BDS, Boycott, Divestment, and Sanctions movement. The Ocean States General Assembly approved a bill last week that would prohibit it from contracting with companies that engage in boycotts of allies of the United States, including Israel. The Anti-Discrimination in State Contracts Act was passed June the 16th by the Rhode Island House in a 63-4 vote, and 2 days later by the state Senate. The bill was introduced by Democratic Congresswoman Mia Ackerman, who at the time said today's interdependent global economy requires that trade policy be developed both at the national and state level. She said one of our greatest trading allies is the State of Israel, the only democratic, non-discriminatory country in the Middle East. Rhode Island Governor Gina Raimondo is expected to sign the legislation into law. Rhode Island will then join 21 other states across the country, most recently New York, who have passed similar legislation. Jewish actor Anton Yelchin has died. The young actor was killed in a freak motor vehicle accident yesterday in Los Angeles when his own vehicle rolled down his driveway and pinned him against a mailbox pillar. Yelchin starred in such films as Hearts in Atlantis, Charlie Bartlett, Green Room, and the new Star Trek films. Yelchin was an only child. He was born in Russia, and he is survived by his parents. He was 27 years old. Israel's rhythmic gymnastics team won several medals yesterday at the European Championships, which were held for the first time in Israel this year, taking place in the city of Holon. The Israeli team walked away with a gold medal for the first time at an international competition. They also won 2 silvers and a bronze. The team will next head to Rio de Janeiro to compete in the Summer Olympics in Brazil. And taking a look now at our programming for tonight here on JBS from Monday, June the 20th at 7:30, a conversation with television icon James Burrows, who directed and created such classic television series as Taxi, Cheers, and Friends. At 8 o'clock, the American Jewish Committee honors Women of Courage, Deborah Lipstadt, Lauren Bush-Lauren, and Samia Sleiman at their Women's Leadership Board Spring Luncheon 2016 in New York City. At 9 o'clock, Mark Golub sits down for a conversation with the first woman Orthodox rabbi, Rabbi Sarah Hurwitz. And at 10 o'clock, author of When Bad Things Happen to Good People, Rabbi Harold Kushner, offers his perspective on coping with personal tragedies in his latest book, Overcoming Life's Disappointments. And coming up right after this newscast tonight at 6:30 in the news. And that's the JBS News Update for Monday, June the 20th, 2016. I'm Teisha Bader.